This isn't an intro I ever wanted to be making, but I can finally talk about it. And that is because our house got broken into in the middle of the night and they stole my pride and joy. So some of you may know that I love riding motorbikes. It is my pride and joy. It is my escape from stress, from life. It is the one thing I have in life that lets me relax and just get out and about and enjoy some me time once in a while. So some people are probably thinking, why are you making this video? I want to make this video, one, to get the word out there because my bike potentially could still be around. So if 100, 200, 300,000 people watch this video, maybe someone might see it one day and I might get it back. Who knows? Because this bike, when I tell you, I can't even explain how much I love this bike. It also cost me £35,000 to make this bike look like this. So yes, I have lost a lot of money, but not only that, it's kind of made me not want to be in this house, and it's kind of made me not want to live in England anymore. So right now, bike thieves are everywhere. Superbikes, mopeds, scooters. There are bikes being stolen from outside supermarkets, inside houses, outside a local school. You name it, there's bikes being stolen everywhere. But what hurts me most is the fact they came to my home, where my kids live, where I live, where this is our safe space, and they came into it, and that is not cool. And yes, many people will be like, it's just materialistic things and it's just a bike. But it is more than a bike. Look, the main thing about all of this is that everyone's safe. Nobody got hurt and we're okay. But it is my bike. Regardless if it's a materialistic item, I worked hard for it. So this is my garage. It has a lock. I did have a ground anchor that was meant to be ordered and I didn't order it. My fault. But yeah, you can't really see a lot of damage on the garage other than maybe a few sides that look a little bit bent. And now this is my empty garage. Now, the bike was sitting here on a stand and was plugged into that charger. This back door doesn't open, it's fully bolted like 3 different directions. I mean, you weren't going to get in there, neither was you going to get a bike out that door because it's so skinny. So as you can see, they've bent the door here and I think they cut the top latch here and the same that side as well. So they've literally just ripped that straight open. This wasn't this messy, but this is still some spare parts from when the bike was before I did anything to it. So I've still got lots of bike parts everywhere. And I did have a chain around the front wheel that they cut off, but the police took it for forensics. They also took another part of the charger for forensics. And it was on like these stands up here. So these are like paddock stands, the bike sits on this. So they were actually sitting on the stands as well, which they kicked that off. And then they must have snapped the steering lock to get that off as well. But I haven't been in the garage. I think I've been in this garage once since the bike got stolen. It's literally so depressing. I hate it. Like I don't even like standing in it, to be fair. And I do have cameras. I do have a Ring doorbell, and I do have a house alarm that I set when we go to bed. But that's in the house, not in the garage. I mean, we haven't lived here that long, and for some reason, it was on the list, but you kind of always get a bit complacent. Oh, well, I'm going to get that done. I'm going to get that done. And normally, the car's parked in front of the garage as well. So they wouldn't have even been able to get in the garage if I'd parked my car over the garage. But for that night, I just didn't put the car over the garage. And let me tell you now, these thieves are carrying all sorts of tools. Angle grinders, bolt cutters, hydraulic cutters. You see them everywhere. The sparks flying everywhere. They do not care. They are carrying the tools that can get through most locks these days. But I'm going to sit down. I'm going to show you the CCTV of certain angles, and I'll show you how they managed to get in and get out real quick. And I did wake up. If it wasn't for Woody, I would never have woke up. And you'll see the times. I missed them by about 2 minutes. And I will tell you what annoys me even more is the fact that my bedroom overlooks the driveway. So they were literally, which scares me a little bit, and it does make me a little bit paranoid, especially in the last few months, that they was literally about 5 to 10 meters away from me. Undo this and you'll see there's my front door there, and there's my neighbour's car. They were literally hiding behind my neighbour's car. And if I'm right, they was there for a good half an hour to 40 minutes before they even attempted to try and open the garage door. What I am glad about is Ralph and Lily wasn't here, because Ralph's bedroom overlooks the garage. So Ralph's bedroom is basically on top of the garage. I mean, if he was here, he may have heard something, but I'm grateful that they wasn't. They was on holiday with their mum at the time, because I just wouldn't want them here. But that's how close they were. And after getting CCTV from many of my neighbours, you can see now they're going around the edge of the garage door, maybe to try and find out where the weak points are. But look, this is on a main road, and then you see them ducking down. I also noticed that my side gate must have been opened. They must have leant over and opened it so they could hide between the neighbour's car and my side gate. But we're talking a very busy main road. They don't care. And then they keep going back to the garage to maybe look at where they're going to try and break in. Bearing in mind, at this point, I'm fast asleep. I'm in bed, literally about 5 meters from where they're standing, even flashing torches. And nobody heard or saw anything. The thing is with these thieves, car thefts, bike thefts, watch robberies, they are not just turning up and getting lucky. They are keeping an eye out. They're doing their own surveillance. So a lot of people will probably come at me and be like, oh, well, you're on social media. You put your life on social media. No, I choose to put a very small part of our life on social media. We also decide what we put on social media. I would never intentionally post stuff, and I shouldn't have to even worry about that. I shouldn't have to worry, oh, I can't do this because I'll get robbed. But unfortunately, right now, that's the kind of country we're living in, that you can't really own anything nice without somebody wanting it. Now it's 2:48 a.m. and you see both of them bending down. This is when they originally pulled the garage open. So I don't know how they did it. They must have just pulled it with force, both at the same time, and it's bent the locks. And then they go in and you can actually see the grinder grinding away. And if I put on the footage now of the rear camera, you can hear the grinder grinding the lock. It must have been at this point where Woody started barking, because I didn't hear the initial bang. Woody just started barking for no reason. I just jumped out of bed, ran downstairs, grabbed my car keys that was on the side, and literally run straight out the door, only to see the garage door was open. The mad thing about that is, I think it was just pure adrenaline. I didn't have my glasses on. I had no idea which way they went at this point. I got in the car and I think I just had a reality check of, I don't know where I'm going. I've got no glasses on. I need to go in and look at the cameras. While all that's going on and I'm running downstairs, this is them pushing the bike away. And then the little tow rag on the Ciron's pushing it with his foot. And to be fair, like, I know the neighbour opposite's camera is the time, I think there's a time delay by like a second or a couple of seconds, so it doesn't really add up. But I think I worked it out from the point of the bang of when they first lifted it to the point I ran out, it was just under 2 minutes, about 1 minute 40 seconds, which when you say 1 minute 40 seconds, it doesn't seem a lot. But when I watch it back, it feels like it's forever, which is crazy. Bearing in mind I was half asleep at this point. And then it really kicked in and I had to get on my app, look at my AirTags, find out where the bike was. And annoyingly, I then jumped back in the car drove the way the AirTag was showing, but the AirTags kept glitching. So I was almost like 10 minutes behind them every time. Every time I got to a location, it then glitched and then glitched again. So I was literally tracking them to a point of where I got into some estate, I'd say about a mile from my house. So the first thing that I found on the floor, at this point I've called the police as well and they're on their way, but I found my seat because it has a tracker inside of it, and I found it on the floor in like a dirt path. It's now 3:30 in the morning. It's starting to get light. You can hear the birds start coming out, even though it's almost like 4 a.m. The police arrive, and I've got this seat in my hand, and I'm saying, well, look, they're clearly here or around this area. And they were just not really interested. They just said, okay, we'll mark it down as a report and we'll get local police to keep an eye out and stuff. But they literally, like, I can't lie, they didn't do much. And a massive thanks to my pal, especially Shane, if you're watching this. He came to my house at 4 a.m, got in my car, and we were just circling the local park and everything. We actually found this like gravel path, and you could see a really big tire like imprint in the gravel. So we just kept following that, and then it ended up into like a park where we were just walking around, and then some guy basically said to me, oh, I just found some screws on the floor. That's nothing to do with you lot, is it? And we literally went down there and found all the screws that they've been removing from my bike inside a local park. I mean, if these criminals were anything other than dumb, you would think they would keep the carbon, right? Look, we're finding bits of carbon stashed up. There's just things everywhere, like, look, these 3 bits here, like, you know how much money that is? So thick. And then we just kept finding more bits, cables that had been cut out the bike. And then we found like the rear section of the bike. So they took out probably about maybe like £2,500 worth of parts and left them in a bush. Some of them left behind a little bit of concrete. So I mean, look, there's a little bit of a bright side. I got £2,500 of parts back, but we kept looking. We even had a drone up in the park to have a look around. By this point, it's like 7, 8 a.m. Now everyone's with me. There's quite a few of us looking around the bushes. We kept looking, the phone kept ringing saying it could be this person, it could be this person. But look, the bike was gone. I couldn't be bothered to keep searching forever. I searched for a few days, I kept my wits about. A few names got mentioned. Some people threw some people under the bus saying, oh, go to this house, it's probably in their garden. But you know what, like at this point I'd given up looking. I couldn't be bothered to start knocking on doors. I don't want any hassle about it. The bike's gone. It would be nice to get the bike back, don't get me wrong. But how long can you really waste just looking and looking and looking? By this point, it's probably already in a different country. But now, all I'm going to do is secure the house. So I've got a new ground anchor coming for the garage. I've got this. Oh.
That's loud.
If I set it off, look, you don't have to touch it. Oh my goodness.
Damn.
That's loud, right?
If you don't wake up from that, then you're the deepest
I
sleep
think
in the world.
if you was here, you would have woke up before Woody.
I'm right, like,
I know. I said that, I know. And if you, but it's catch-22. I wouldn't want you here because then
I'd be so scared.
yeah, you'll be so, and that's what I mean. It wouldn't have been nice for you.
Especially when you're like asleep.
And then you just hear a big bang. You would have heard the bang as well.
Yeah, because I'm not a deep sleeper.
No, you're not.
Wake up
That's what I
from
mean. So installed a brand new ring, another one, and this one's got like lights on. Listen how loud this alarm is. Yeah. I've also got an amazing company that is installing I would like to say a smoke alarm, but it's like an alarm where when the alarm is triggered, it sets off loads of smoke into the rooms. So if anyone tried to break in, it would just fill the rooms with smoke. The house alarm's been upgraded, another camera on the back. Like literally, I shouldn't have to do this, but it's just made me super paranoid, and I don't like living like that. Like some nights I wake up in the middle of the night. Some nights Woody now is on such high alert. Like every noise he barks, it's almost like he knows what went on. Bless him, he's not going to do anything. He's only a French bulldog, but he wakes me up, which is the main thing. But having to pay all this money to secure my house, we shouldn't have to do that. Yes, I still own the bike. I still have keys. I still have the logbook, all in my name still. Right, now why I lost £35,000 is, yes, on my mistake, and I will have to live with that, because when I took out my policy, because I had another bike, believe it or not, I had another bike stolen from a previous house. And that was, I ran indoors for like half an hour and then I came out and the bike was gone. I shouldn't have left it unlocked, to be fair, but That bike wasn't as dear as this bike, but basically when I took out my insurance policy with Bennett's, I had a previous claim that I thought, genuinely, like hand on my heart, I thought it was over 3 years. Now, basically, it worked out that the previous bike claim was 2 years and 8 months. So what they said is, if I told them it was 2 years and 8 months when I took my policy out, I got my dates mixed up, they wouldn't have insured me in the first place. So therefore, they had to void my insurance, which means I lost every single penny. But the one little positive that I like to take, I always try to find one positive in such a negative situation, is I managed to cancel the claim. So then it goes as a lapse policy, not a voided policy. And I get to keep my no claims bonus. And I don't have a claim as such on my policy, which means I probably can insure another bike. Am I going to buy another one? I just don't know. I don't feel safe enough to buy one. And if I did, it wouldn't be kept at home. I'd put it in a secure lockup somewhere. But that's the moral of the story, is that sometimes like you can work very hard for something, buy something that you absolutely love, and it get taken from you just like that. Not having a bike is driving me insane. I need a bike. I miss riding.
Get a road bike.
How much did I love that bike?
Too much.
Not too much.
Yeah.
It's not. Yeah.
You love that bike.
Yeah, I love
so
my kids, but I love that bike. You, my little bulldog, was the one that got me up. Shame we couldn't catch him. So that is it. They took my bike. I lost £35,000. That I put money aside, and I saved for that bike. I loved it. I washed it every day, and it's gone. So it is what it is. I've learnt from my mistake of the insurance. I've secured the house the best I can. If you ever see this bike, please let me know. If you know the little rats that stole it and they still have it, I mean, I'll give some money for it back right now. But if not, the bike's gone. And unfortunately, that's what it is. So if you own a bike, secure it, lock it, take the wheel off at night, put it in a cage. I don't know. Just make sure you look after it. But not only just a bike, any good or valuable belongings that you own, make sure they're secure, locked up, because I'm telling you now, these thieves are everywhere. But I want to say a massive thanks to all my friends that helped try and look for it, that was out searching for it day after day, night after night, putting drones up in the sky. Honestly, the bike community is amazing. They've all been very supportive. Everyone's shared it on Instagram. And yes, don't get at me about, oh, you're on social media so you deserve it, because that shouldn't be the case, and that's not the case. Nobody deserves to have their house invaded by thugs. Nobody. It doesn't matter if it's a bike, if it's a car, if it's a watch, if it's a bag, if it's a pair of trainers. It does not matter. It doesn't make it acceptable that people think it's okay to come into somebody else's house. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Yeah, I'm not in the greatest of moods because I had to relive that to make this video, and that's probably the first time I've gone through everything. But yeah, subscribe to the channel. The next video I'll be a bit more positive for sure, and end of an era. So right now, currently, I don't own a bike. I haven't been riding. It's not good, but I will bounce back. Thanks for watching. Be secure.